Hey guys, Blazie here, and welcome finally to my Beastwars Season 2 review. I'm sorry for how long it took. I just needed the motivation to get off my butt and just do this, and well, finally, here it is. So, this season has 13 episodes this time, so there's no real silly episodes, which I do kind of miss. I will definitely say that. There's a lot more story in this season, but is that a good thing? Well, let's get into it. Roll the intro. Episode 1 starts right where we left off with Optimus exploding into slag. Optimus confirmed destroyed while Black Arachnia, who is still in the Maxwell's base, makes her way out. But as she tries to escape, we see some of those trippy weird moments, which I do love. They don't do it as much in this season, but you know, where it is, I like it. So Translus is messing around inside her head still. As we also learn of a quantum surge happening, whatever that means. Basically, the explosion wave is heading right towards Earth, and honestly, this whole scene is still really cool looking. We then go over to the Prince ship. Megatron falls off his platform, but he's okay. Waspinator falls off his, but lands in the Rejuvenator thing. I have mentioned before, they fly around into space because the floor is lava. It's just a very intense game of the floor is lava, basically. And so what happens to Scorponok and Pterosaur when they fall? They fucking die! Yeah, they smack into each other and fall to their deaths, never to be seen again. They are killed off so suddenly without much of a send-off at all, but it does make an intense opening to the new season, as then Megatron is affected by the wave. So after that whole intense scene, we are then seeing the Maxwell's base half destroyed. Black Arachnia wakes up, Translus is saying to go get his body. Next, Airways and Tigatron wake up, and we finally see what happened to the others.
I'm a Matrix. What's with you two? My gearbox hanging out or something?
Jumping gyros, what happened to you?
They get new transmetal forms.
Hey, I'm, gorgeous.
Which includes new beast forms too, which I always did like Rat Trap's new form. Love the little teeth and his little wheels and everything.
Now that's gorgeous.
I'm a rat with wheels. Cool.
While Cheetah now gets a flight mode, which they don't really know how to control. So as I said, I love Rat Trap's new form, but I do miss the originals for sure. And Cheetah, I was never really a fan of. It took me a long time to get used to it, as I generally like both his original forms. While I like the flight mode and beast form now, the maximized form, I just never really liked the face of compared to the freckled face form. But nowadays, I don't care as much, and I've generally just gotten used to it. But, I mean, in a way, I like how he looks a little bit older for being like a kid, and he has a little bit of a beard on his chin. I think that's kind of cute, and I feel like, yeah, they're making him just that slightly bit older in a way. We do see the Predacon's base half destroyed, with Waspinator coming out of the Rejuvenator thing, and just, yeah, Waspinator is still alive. The others are dead, but, yep, he's fine. Megatron got a new form as well, we don't see that just yet. Black Arachnia is still making her way through the base and finds Inferno and Translus body, which seems to have a new form too. So finally, Vidox wakes up having some kind of dream or vision, but yeah, it's normal because I guess he was in the Rejuvenator thing, even though the particles went through the ship, but whatever. Same with Dinobot, as we then see them just hit them normal as well. But yeah, they do refer to them as transmetals here.
And then when we woke up, Cheetah and I with these transmetals. Nice, huh? Hey.
I also do love Vidox taking charge here.
By what right do you command me? With Optimus gone, I should be... I'm in a bad mood. Understand?
Megatron attacks the Maximal's base, and so we see his new form carried out with the use of flight. So, I don't hate nor love his new form, it's perfectly fine. Just the original forms are so much more iconic, and well, look more like animals. But the mix of them making the animals more metal, like, isn't a bad thing. Even though we had a few episodes in that first season of making their beast forms one with them, and understanding them, that's completely thrown away now with them making the beast forms robots. So, like, now it's not about the disguising themselves or anything like that. Not that they needed to anyway, it was just about surviving the Energon. But whatever in the end, just me complaining about it. But Whiteley too, as I said, makes some of those other episodes pointless now. They're like, because they're not all simply animal-like. Anyway, I do at least like they keep Megatron's face looking the same.
Megatron, am I glad? Oh!
We then have a classic Maximals fighting Predacon scene, but it's all more so to show off their new weapons and such, like Cheetah using his flight mode effectively.
Sir, Catbot cannot fly.
Ratchet using a wheel as a shield, and we see Megatron's beast form. I think part of why I like meh with it is just the brown and purple colours. It's just kind of ugly, but whatever, again, whatever. He has freaking skates on his feet though, and his own flight abilities, but also can like use it for charging, which is shown in a great scene showing Rattrap's new speed. Cheetah now uses his tail like a whip as well, so during all this, Inferno pulled himself back together and started attacking Dinobot and Whiteox inside the base. And then as Megatron is about to destroy the other two, Inferno gets sent out of the base, distracting Megatron, but in the best way, in the sense he like runs over to him, calls it quits, and runs off with him. Like, Megatron doesn't give a shit about his team normally and does his own thing, but he cared enough to rescue Inferno. That's kinda great.
Inferno!
Royalty! You've come for me!
This episode ends with a teaser of 2 new pods that had fallen down to Earth. So, very awesome, great first episode to Season 2. Absolutely great start. Episode 2, Preds get report of the 2 new pods that came down, but Waspinator kind of just stops and realizes there's only 1 moon now, and seems to like know something is up. Waspinator knowing something? Huh. Dinobot is at the Preds base, also noticing a moon, and then we get this great scene of him covering himself in mud to get through.
Proximity alert.
Waspinator goes to the golden disc, but Dinobot catches up, and we are told the planet they're on is indeed Earth. And so Megatron never led them to the wrong planet. This was his goal all along. This was the right planet, and the golden discs give records of the future. Dinobot managed to steal the disc thanks to Waspinator's help.
You go first.
While Black Arachnia shows up, just kicking around Transil's body, which is kind of funny. After this, we see the Maximals recovering some of the pods that came down, though some of them have no sparks and are just like blank slates, so no new characters there. Tigatron and Airways, they end up leaving the show pretty much as they head off to try and find more pods that crash down much further away. But the other 2 pods are like now awake now, broken circuits and all that, so their forms are very different, and we see a new Scorpion-like character that begs the question, why not just make this Scorponok's new form? I think in short they wanted a new character that was going to kiss ass to Megatron, since now that's Inferno's job. Well, why not just give us a whole new animal then? But, whatever. So we get like a very southern hillbilly Scorpion that is just angry, wants to fight for no reason.
You heard me. Come on, Buzz and Feathers. You and me, we's gonna tangle right here, right now!
And who is he fighting? A wolf eagle. Reasons why I'm referring number 1. These kinds of characters. A wolf eagle, very cool, but he doesn't want to fight, and doesn't understand really what's going on, and seems much kinder compared to the other one.
Tarnation! Another one thinks he's tougher than me.
We've done nothing to him. Surely there's been a misunderstanding.
Inferno comes in and starts fighting them.
Pain is my friend. Allow me to introduce you to it.
While Megatron tries to overwiden the circuit so it will save their Predacons. Then he comes in saying, bye bye bad cop, time for good cop. Which, I do love these little moments with Megatron. You just can't trust that voice, it's so good.
I am Megatron. A simple misunderstanding. I do apologize.
I knew it.
So now we get their names, Quickstrike and Silverbolt. Megatron's reaction is just kind of great, and then the heroic like music from Silverbolt. He's such like a great fan favorite character that is simply like the hero of the series.
I think my name is Silverbolt. Yes, pure, strong, and fast.
He is very much heroic, which yeah, most of the time people are just like, well, Megatron's reaction.
Yes. In any case, Quickstrike and, Silverbolt.
And now we get some real southern Quickstrike as she transforms for the first time. And then Silverbolt does, showing he doesn't really like the word terrorize as well, so there's something up with him compared to the other crazy one.
Quick strike! Terrorize! And what in tarnation?
Silverbolt. Terrorize. It's not a word I like the taste of.
I do love his robot form as well. He even like looks like he's wearing like a hero mask. This transition exists, really doing the hero thing. So why not just try to do something and fast while Dinobot starts getting very Shakespearean as he is trying to figure out what to do with the disc. But it does sound like he knows something about his fate.
To be or not to be, that is the question.
My body is stronger than ever. I live. I live.
Cheetah is flying around trying to find Dinobot and gets attacked by Megatron, who gets a bit sick of Silverbolt's whining not want to attack someone who isn't attacking. But he does chase down Cheetah using his wings as missiles, which is really cool.
Oh, yeah!
Dinobot ended up hiding one of the discs and brings the other one with him into the base, hiding it from the other zone. Cheetah was heading near the base with Megatron in tow, and so Rattrap and Dinobot decide to take the fight to them. While then Tarantulas reveals to Black Arachnia that he left a psychic leak in her, allowing him to control her if he so wishes. Megatron contacts the base and sees his new form, but just wants them all there at the Maximalist base to finish them once and for all. As he has said many other times. We get a bit of a Mexican standoff thing and say, get on all the different sides and prepare for battle. Also see Tarantulas swirling about in his new beast form, so I kind of like it. And so he has a new set of wheels too. And the episode ends with him about to fight, but dun, to be continued. Well, at least I don't have to wait a week. But so far so good, even if Dinosaur is getting a little bit preachy and different. Episode 3 starts off the second it left off. They shoot their guns and explosions sending all of the Maximals flying behind some rocks. Cheetah suggests a flying over, and then we get this scene. Those eyes, man. Also see Cheetah using his weapons for the first time here with the hand weapons. Kinda cool. Also this weird scene.
Excellent. Reinforcements have arrived.
Well, what do you mean? They were standing right there next to you a second ago. So Silverbolt still doesn't really want to fight. They outnumbered them, so why fight and try to kill them so badly? Which I do like Megatron getting really stressed about this.
We outnumber them more than 2 to 1.
Yes.
We have twice their firepower.
Yes.
But Quickstrike, on the other hand, you can kind of guess where Silverbolt is going to end up. Rhinox is still doing something weird, with again, trippiness with the CGI, as he seems to be doing something out in space. While Tarantulas is having Black Arachnia search for the golden disc, mentioned Megatron made a backup somewhere. Megatron notices a beam of light coming from the base and sends Waspinator and Silverbolt. Cheetah still needs help flying, so Rattrap gives them one.
I gotta do everything. Ah!
And then he offers Dinobot a wide.
It's for you. Hop on.
While Waspinator and Silverbolt are making their way to the base, they have a little fun little conversation that just confuses Silverbolt. And I do love like Waspinator's little up himself kind of moments.
Lead on.
You not tell Waspinator what to do. Waspinator in command.
Cheetah shows up and we get this face. But it gets dumber. I don't understand why he pulls this face like Cheetah as food. Maybe he just thinks he's sexy. He wants that cat booty. But better than that is Dinobot riding on top of Rat Trap. Again, these two and their friendship.
To think that a warrior must become a rat patrol.
Black Arachnia discovers the data and downloads it, while Translus gets taken out in classic fashion for him. So more fighting and this hilarious moment between Inferno and Megatron. In the end, Translus didn't get what he needed, but she managed to get all the info. Silverbolt ends up getting taken down and captured, or well, not really. He's all like, finish me. Dinobot goes to, of course, but legit, nah.
It's not what Optimus would have done.
Poor Silverbolt, his entire life has been nothing but confusion. Now the base is being attacked, but the signal or whatever that Wynox sent out comes down through his machine to one of the empty pods I was mentioned earlier. Dun dun dun, a new bot appears. But who? They run out of ammo and get messed up hilariously. And then like again, little Mexican-ish standoff thingy as the Predator are about to finish them off once and for all. Or will they?
Well, that's just prime.
Optimus is back! In short, Wynox was trying to find his spark and put it into the Blake protoform they found. I don't understand any of it, but woo, he's back. And looking kinda cool. I do like his new design, and his new weapons are pretty cool. And then he has his own flight mode, which is pretty rad. Like, they had to change it up and not make it like rockets. That's Cheetah's thing now. Megatron has giant fan turbines, so he gets a hoverboard. He fights him during a classic standoff with Inferno at one point, and as Megatron is about to pull off a sneak attack by announcing he is there, which of course he would, Silverbolt comes in and kicks him off a cliff, handing in his resignation and joining with the Maximals.
Well, I like your resume.
So now we get some explanation that most of the Energon around the area was destroyed or is now stable, so there's no problem with that anymore. Then this little scene with Megatron, it's just so great. Just Megatron skating around, it's just so threatening. It's so threatening, like him skating backwards in the dark, it's just so hilariously threatening.
Well, we enter a new phase of the Beastwars then.
Great start to the season. These 3 episodes and just Optimus is back. Woo! So, all is well. Pretty much just Pterosaur and Scorponok died. Episode 4. Very meh episode. No real idea on, like, what they were really doing with this one. Megatron gets the Preds to do something. Translus, Black Arachnia, and Quickstrike are together. We see Quickstrike trying to get with the ladies, while Translus then decides, yep, this new cabin will be my new lair.
I'm managing, thank you, Quickstrike.
Yeah, well, that load becomes too much for you, Sugarbot. You just let me know here.
Black Arachnia gets sick and tired of Translus with his mind link still connected to her, so that's dealt with and gone now. So that plot did not last at all. Rattrap and Silverbolt are out and about trying to track down a signal. Turns out to be those three in a fight, and here we get the start of something. The worst aspect of this show, in my opinion, while some funny moments here and there, it just gets annoying. Silverbolt won't hurt a lady, aka Black Arachnia, because he is a big hero type that sees women as weak and frail and needs a man to protect and do all the fighting for. Woo, equality! This is not what this show needed at all. So in short, episode gives us more of like Quick Strike and Silverbolt. Trash's leak is gone and he gets a new lair. Weak episode after the last 3 amazing episodes. Episode 5. There's a part of me that's a little meh with Dinobot in this season. I don't really like him in this season because he becomes really preachy after discovering the Golden Disc. Like, he knows his fate, but also trying to figure out who he is as a warrior, and as a Maximal, and as a Predacon. Which is fine, he just kind of wags on, and has these little speeches that are very confusing. He ends up getting captured, and he switches sides, going back to being a Predacon now that he understands Megatron never led them astray, and brought them to a white planet in the first place. Though to test his loyalty, they have him fight Quick Strike in Mortal Kombat. But, how does having like a previous Maximal fight a Predacon make sure he is now a Predacon? I don't get how that works. It's an enjoyable enough fight, though. I do like Dinobot pointing out Inferno, calling him Queen here.
Inferno, aid Quick Strike.
Yes, my queen. I was not aware you had given yourself a new title.
The ant has some faulty programming.
He ends up showing Megatron the one Golden Disc he hid away, but Ratchet shows up just as Megatron is about to attack Dinobot, but Ratchet stops him, not knowing Dinobot swaps sides. And so here comes the big moment of will he kill Rattrap or not. But in the end, attacks Megatron and switches back to Maximal. Not a bad episode, and I do like the ending.
Glad to have you back, Dino Butt. The pleasure is all yours.
Episode 6. Dinobot shows the Golden Disc he has. Wydot looks over it and sees some of the patterns on it match other such patterns that are located on the alien structures they came across in Season 1. So they want to try and find other such structures now. What they do know is Airways and Tigatron are heading near one they detected, but Megatron has put out a jamming device so they can't reach them. We haven't seen them for a while, so woo, they're back. They do end up finding this area with weird plants, especially like one big one, and then they cutely hold hands, showing that in like their time together, they have bonded to be more than just friends. And then we get what I wish was just some furry tentacle porn. But nope, they have fallen in love, and then they're killed off. Yep, 2 of the best characters are just suddenly killed off with a very shitty send-off, considering they haven't been around the last couple episodes. They're just suddenly killed off. Making it even more, like, sad that, yeah, they just fell in love. Thanks, Whiters. Thank you for that.
My spark will find yours.
And mine. Yours.
Now, I will say, it does feel like they planned this for a reveal in Season 3. There is something to do with them, alright? There is something there. It's very much like the writers wanted you to say yay at that point when you find this out. But really, you're just like, fuck you, they're still dead. Yeah, their deaths were just poorly written, like they disappeared for a bit, then killed off, and it's just so obvious it's because the writers didn't know what to do with them. It's just bad writing. Also like Cheetah, almost arrived in time to save them, but nope. Damn it, show. But yeah, so the aliens basically take up Airways and Tigatron up for a signal up into space. The problem is, the show never made it obvious that, yeah, they're gone. Like, it's a 2-parter episode, so, like, okay, they will be back, but nope, Blair. And that is a huge problem, because then you don't have any emotions. Because it's like, oh, okay, they're gone, okay, they'll be back, whatever. This happens all the time. Optimus got taken away by them, like, twice, or something. So it's like, yeah, no, they'll be back. But they don't make it obvious that, no, they won't. so you don't care until it's too late. Though I will say something that's kind of great. In Japanese, Airwayzer is a guy, because like the original toy was male. They changed it into the show so they could have another female character besides the obvious one with robo titties. So yeah, in Japanese, Airwayzer is male, and they don't cut out any of the romantic subtext like them holding hands and stuff. So in Japanese, they're gay. I mostly want to mention this because once again, the gays aren't allowed to be happy on TV. While then the Maximals, besides Rhinox, are out, Megatron decides to try and retrieve the golden disc the Maximals have for Black Arachnia and Inferno. They go to their base and Megatron distracts him, which is kind of funny, while the others sneak inside.
I come in peace.
We get a little bit of fighting in this random moment that's pretty funny. This show is just really weird with its humor sometimes. In the end, Rhinox is defeated as Megatron goes into the base and we get this little moment for Black Arachnia.
We have no time for Maximals now.
Oh, when do we ever? Except maybe for that hunky silver.
Oh, you simp. They manage to steal it in the end, stuff happens, Maximals and Predators end up at the plant we found out, sort of kind of like why Transylus is so interested in the aliens. It's more so he's scared of them and wants them defeated and out of the way. We get this really oddly funny moment from Inferno.
The invaders come, royalty.
And the aliens send down some kind of base attacks, and yep, that's the end of that episode, but again, it's a two-parter. So, episode 7. The wave took out some of the characters. Transylus has set up a net of sorts that keeps the Maximals out as Megatron, Transylus, and Quickstrike go inside using a disc he has to operate the door. Megatron uses this to activate a console as the Maximals destroy the web. Megatron then is shown having control of the base, which I do like. The base is like the same shape of flowers in the previous episode. That's a nice touch there, credit where credit is due. But yeah, he takes out Optimus, heals his teammates, and takes them all inside along with Optimus before disappearing. But he kicked out the traitorous Transylus, and Transylus ends up going back to the Maximals base with Rat Trap because he wants to figure out what's going on, and sorta teams up with him. Megatron starts like gathering up warp drives so he can like bring the ship back to Cybertron and attack it and such. Maximals distract him while Rat Trap and Transylus makes their way inside the base to stop him. Though Transylus once again betrays and runs off on his own, and he seems like he ends up like downloading some data real quick before the ship is about to explode, as Rat Trap destroys the control chair thingy. But yeah, after this, the episode kind of just ends, and I gotta say, these two episodes, when it comes to like story, is really, really weak. Every other time they had the aliens come down, there was like a purpose to it. But here, there was absolutely no reason for anything. Why did they have a big ship come down? No reason at all. That is not explained at all. Why they have this, like, base ship thing come down. Not explained. Why did they take Airways and Tigatron? That's not a thing until Season 3, aka I don't think they had a clue what they were doing. The whole thing with the aliens is really badly written now. It was all interesting at first and very well done in the first season. But now, nope. As, again, what was the reason for any of this? Nothing. It was just to get rid of two characters I didn't know how to write for anymore. And that's way too obvious. Episode 8. Big stasis pod has crashed down with a big X on it. We learned what's in there was part of an experiment to replicate Starscream's indestructible spark, but failed. It was put on the Maximal ship to then dump it somewhere where it would never be found, but obviously that didn't work. And then fart joke reminding me it's a kid's show.
Oh, sorry. My transmetal bod's been soaking up so much energon, I'm about to blast one off.
Megatron finds out about the pod and sends out Black Arachnia and Waspinator, while also putting on a listening device on her. They arrive to take the big boy, taking out Cheetah and Optimus, though Silverbolt is there but won't fight a woman. And then defends her as Transylus appears wondering what information she has. Because of him, the Energon explodes around them, sending everyone off in different directions. But Silverbolt and Black Arachnia do end up together. And of course, Silverbolt doesn't fight her and wants to protect her still.
Are you damaged?
Just enough to make me interesting.
So yeah, this episode, like, starts to get this really weird relationship thing. That's like Leon and Ada in Resident Evil. The whole will they, won't they kind of thing. Those Superbolt wings are damaged, so they can't fly, so they just kind of walk around together. Translos ends up being blasted near the stasis pod, and when he checks it, it's opened and the thing inside is awake, even though it seemed like he was dead. Later on, Silverbolt and Black Arachnia discover his arm.
Tarantulas!
Where?
Do not worry. He has been disarmed.
To say the least.
Silverbolt is about to cross a log, but Black Arachnia is suddenly gonna blast him, because in the end, she is a Predacon. But then he saves her from a sudden saber-tooth attack, almost getting himself killed in the process, but she saves him.
Are ya damaged?
Just enough to make me interesting. Yuck.
Later, he's reminding her that she was originally a Maximal, and that she has some good in her thanks to that. Though she's just getting so sick of him, and I'm with you there, Gail.
Just admit there is a spark of goodness deep inside you. And then...
They then find the rest of the remains of Tarantulas, realizing it was because of Protoform X, they call him. And then we get to see him, and he crab. He also huge and crazy. You could say he's crabby. Yeah, I said it. Cheetah and Optimus arrive and manage to take him out, but then we see he also has like a take mode. But Silverbolt takes him out, but as he is falling, he blasts away Black Arachnia. But Silverbolt manages to get his wings working and saves her, like the hero he is. So the Magnals just kind of like head off, leaving Protoform X there, while then Megatron shows up having made a special blade made of Energon. We then see him back at his ship and basically, in short, has cut out his spark, put it in the device that when squeezed hurts him. So that's how he controls him, and now calls him Rampage. Episode 9, Code of Hero. Just saying the title will bring a lot of sad memories to Beastwars fans. This is the saddest episode, but also one of the best episodes. So it starts off with early man and early CGI, one of which gets killed by a snake. But yeah, I haven't seen like this before, but then like gets a bit weird in the next scene with Dinobot about to commit seppuku. Like, wow, okay, that's something kind of deep in a kid's show. He then goes outside and Rapture gives a shit, calling him a traitor and everything again for the whole golden disc thing. But even though Dinobot does argue back, you can see it hurt him, and as he does believe what he has said, and kind of gets a little poetic about it before heading off.
Destiny has one great test in store for us all.
Cheetah heads off as well and wants it to Megatron and Rampage, who are up to something. Then creepy shit from frickin' Tarantulas as usual.
Ah, dinner is served.
Ended up being trapped by Dinobot, who wants to get information about the golden disc. We then see Megatron and Rampage are on a mountain, and Megatron brings out the golden disc, which now says the sounds of Earth on it, and now it's more disc-like here, which is a bit weird. So now I want to mention something here, and that the golden disc is very much real. It was a message with hundreds of pictures and sounds of Earth stored on the disc and sent off into space in 1977. It was a message to contact alien life, with the symbols on it meant to show you how to make it work. So that's all pretty cool. Megatron then explains it contains images of the future, which yeah, technically I guess it would then. As they then know that they're on Earth, and then he destroys a mountain, and the image of the future then changes because that mountain no longer exists in the same way. So they are very much in Earth's past. So with that, he knows now how to win, not only the Beast Wars, but the original Great War. Because of humans, the Autobots were able to win, but he knows from the Golden Disc that humans will first appear in this valley, that we saw the monkey dudes in. So now he plans an all-out assault with all the Preds showing up, but the only one there to defend it is Dinobot.
Destroy this valley and everything in it. The human race will never have existed.
He does get attacked by Tarantulas, but squishes him as he contacts the others, but they're too far away in the end. So now Dinobot knows what he has to do, what fate has in store for him.
I am a warrior. Let the battle be joined.
He is a warrior in the end. It goes down to take them all out by himself, taking out a photo of Black Arachnia first in pretty cool fashion. Then Waspinator and Rampage. But he's getting more and more damaged. Then Quickstrike comes down next, but Dinobot is shown to be running out of power and will lose his spark if he keeps on doing so. But he doesn't care, he's a warrior, he keeps on fighting.
Warning, systems failing.
Megatron shows himself and we get a pretty great speech with him, with just that voice and all.
I have the golden disc. I have the power to change the future. And the only remaining obstacle in my path to unimaginable glory is yourself.
He does have one of the apes captured, but Dinobot, being a fighter, grabs a stick and just starts smacking up Megatron, but is easily knocked away, so he improvises. And then he uses the last of his strength to destroy the golden disc. The others finally arrive, but it's too late. So they say their goodbyes with one last moment with him and Rattrap holding hands and everything, which is, again, like, they were friends in the end. So it's really sad.
You're just a blasted slag-spouting saurian, but it's nice to know where you stand. Upwind of you for preference, vermin.
And then his spark leaves his body, dying a hero's death. Then they're back at the base doing something with his body, but, wait, what? Is that the original Rattrap there? Is that the original version of Rattrap there? I remember seeing this as a kid, and like, how did this happen? One of the most important, memorable moments in all of Beastwars has a major fox-up in it. It's a major mess-up. Oh well, great episode, well also very sad. As I said, everyone who watched Beastwars remembers this episode well, because it's freaking sad. The best character, with a great voice, now gone. Also, we then do see like one of the monkeys is now using the weapon that like Dinobot used, and you know he's understanding and you know evolving as he then kills the snake. Episode 10. This episode starts with Rampage trying to get a spark back from Megatron, but fails. Rattrap and Silverbolt are out looking for a jamming station, which is like stuff that messes with communications. Earthquake's happening, burying Rattrap and Cheetah, but also unearthing another stasis pod. Inferno arrives there, but with Silverbolt is right behind him, but also something is happening to the pod. Rattrap and Cheetah are free now, and we get a look at this thing. Even they don't know what it is. Rampage tells him that the Maximals are his enemies, while Silverbolt says he lies.
Join with me and destroy them.
He lies! Predacons will only use you. We extend the hand of friendship.
Then Inferno shows up and accidentally blasts the thing, which he then shows off its strange power that knocks them out. Rampage is the only one that's fine and says for him to not speak and just come with me, I will protect you. But he also calls him transmutate quite suddenly. I feel like that's a little bit of a mistake there, but whatever. And I do love his walking cycle.
I will protect you.
It's all just very weird and mysterious and maybe a little uneasy. Like, Rampage was shown to be just a straight-up killer, but now he seems to care for his creature, saying he's its friend. And with the strange music with it, it's just a big mystery, weird episode. He looks at it more closely, seeing he is part transmetal, which is what the new forms are, while also being very muted-like, so heads transmutate. Inferno and then Megatron shows up and wants to see what the creature can do, and asks his name, and he responds, taking the name Transmutate.
But does it have a brain? You, what is your name?
Transmutate.
Megatron asks Inferno to go to Beast Mode to show Transmutate, and then asks him to do it, but he can't transform.
Beast Mode. Beast Mode.
So he wants it destroyed, but Rampage is adamant in not destroying it. For one, he does recognize it does have power and can help. They get Transmutate to make a trap for Silverbolt, who gets blasted a lot, and Transmutate just doesn't really seem to understand. And so when it comes down to then Rampage asking Transmutate to finish the job, he doesn't, and then gets knocked away by Inferno so he can do it. Which then Transmutate attacks him, again showing like how strong he actually is. But then Optimus shows up and attacks Rampage, and Transmutate is about to attack, but Silverbolt stops him, and he does like understand that like he's hurt.
We are your friends.
Hurt.
And he's kind of considering, like, he sees there's niceness in Silverbolt. And so they decide to go back to base, and so they, like, fly off there. And indeed, he can fly.
Give him to me. I'll fly him to be repaired.
Fly. Fly.
Now, isn't that just prime?
He does end up going off to Megatron's base and gets scared, but they have no idea what he is at all, but understands he has power and is dangerous to himself and others. And maybe they should put him in stasis. Silverbolt is mad about that. Just because it's different doesn't mean we should treat it like a monster. Nice little message there, I will say. Rampage though manages to communicate with it, and hearing his old friend, flies off to him, and so then Silverbolt makes his way out to retrieve him. Both of them getting hurt, knocked out off a cliff, Transmutate coming down in between them. Then as they fire their weapons, he sets out an energy barrier of sorts that stops them in their tracks, and now it gets truly sad. In the end, recognizing that Silverbolt was good and Rampage was dark, and that he is hurt. And I'm hurt by that.
Friend. Dark.
This is such a bizarrely sad episode, and even at the end, Silverbolt recognizes Rampage's pain, and they don't fight, and it just kind of ends there. It's a good episode for what it is. It's just really odd, but it kind of gets to you like that. Episode 11. So the Transwarp explosion that happened at the end of the first season, the blast wave is still going and ends up making its way to Cybertron. How? I don't know. It just does. Which then can help Cybertron find them. Whiteox knows this and mentions they're finally going home, and we get this little celebration scene that's kind of funny.
This is it. We're going home.
Yes! We're going home, little buddy! Oh, come here!
Also, Rat Trap is a total whore.
Not only that, but the servant bots are walking around minus their torso plates, you know what I mean?
So here's the thing, with the episode with the Predators trying to stop the human race from being a thing, why don't they just go back and attack them? They are stopped, yes, but it's not like they can't just go back and attack. They do quickly address it though, that the tribes have scattered and it will be impossible to find them. Even though they have all kinds of scanners, but sure. Silverbolt meets up with Black Arachnia to give us something, while also trying to convince her to come back to Cybertron with her. And then we see that things have gotten a little bit more intimate. The Predacons out near Cybertron are the first to pick up the signal, which I do like. They still hide like what their like robot forms kind of look like until we see the council. They do talk about Predacons being like secret, like in the shadows, still being evil and such. But they do consider Megatron a menace. They do consider him a rogue. They do end up blocking the signal from reaching the Maximals and send out their own scout to go find Megatron and destroy him. The Preds attack the Maximal base while the scout ship comes ever closer and then attacks the Preds. It has stealth so they can't see the ship.
What in tarnation? Where's that firepower coming from?
They flee and the Maximals lower their shields, not knowing what's really going on, seeing that the ship is definitely not Maximal. But then the roof of the ship opens up as he's using stealth too, so they don't really notice him until it's too late. He shoots away their guns from their hands as Optimus realizes who it is. He mentions that after the Great War, some of the old Decepticons were given a chance of new life, and most of them just kind of retired from war and all that kind of stuff. While there was one who was rumored to be reprogrammed and rebuilt into a Predacon, and this ends up being Ravage, who is a Russian panther. I love it. I love that they made him Russian.
And you will pardon my shooting the weapons from your hands. I only wish to avoid any regrettable accidents to my person.
So this character, for one, his voice is very cool. I loved him as a child. Growing up and doing research, I now have an understanding of who Ravage is. And it's kind of cool, but I'll explain it later. When like a certain scene happens that I've always questioned, but I now understand it. So he comes down into Maximal's base, shooting the weapons away because he didn't want to be attacked. Simple as that. Though he does lie and say the signal was too weak to reach the Maximals at Cybertron. We then see Black Arachnia is working on something with his stasis pod with this thing that Silverbolt gave to her. So Maximals finally take the fight to Megatron, attacking them in style with Ravage. They goddamn Cheetah in this scene. And once again, Silverbolt can't attack Black Arachnia, which pisses off Optimus, that seems to know, like, where she's heading. And then Megatron is captured by Ravage, and so maybe they have won the Beastwars. Of course not. Episode 12, Optimus does get pissy at Silverbolt, wanting him to stop this relationship. He wants Cheetah to go find her and telling Silverbolt to stay put. Ravage talks to Megatron, mentioning he served under the original Megatron, but also that Tarantulas is working with him as a lieutenant of the Predacon secret police.
Let me to introduce Lieutenant Tarantulas of the Predacon secret police.
Yeah, okay, that's a sudden thing. Silverbolt knocks over Cheetah and then makes his way out of the base, which Ratchet tries to stop him, but fails. Megatron has a secret stash of Energon, though he of course lied and made it a trap that Cheetah and Optimus are in. While Waspinator is heading off somewhere else to the real location that we need to get to. And Black Arachnia is behind following him. And while I think it's the pod, I guess that's what she was doing. And then Silverbolt flies in, still trying to get her on his team. Which, this whole story thing, again, they're, watching it again, there is some funny moments with her, like this one here of her shooting him.
You shot me!
No duh, dog boy. I'm evil.
Yet, you ensured the wound would not be mortal.
Shut up, shut up!
Like, he kinda deserves that. It is annoying, though, for the most part, as I like Silverbolt, but the whole, she woman, so I can't hurt her. Just bleh. At least there's funny moments with her, so they do try and make it interesting. And Photo looks as though he dies. He's fine. Although Megatron does know Ravage doesn't plan on keeping any of the Maximals alive or Preds, but now comes the big reveal. Why did Megatron steal the golden disc in the first place? It wasn't just to get Energon in the end, but that when they launched the Voyager probe with the disc on it, it was around the time of the Great War started on Earth, and original Megatron got a hold of it and encoded a message. Ravage ends up letting Megatron out of his bonds, and he reveals a fragment of the disc that Dinobot destroyed, which just so happens to be a part that had the message, of course. Original Megatron has this to say.
This is Megatron, leader of the Decepticons. And if you are hearing this, it means I've failed. This time. But I know that transwarp technology is being developed. And so I leave this message to any Decepticon descendants that may find.
Basically, I failed, but with transwarp technology, aka time machine kind of stuff, go back in time and win the war before it even started on Earth. This again was why he wanted to kill the humans before they were humans. So seeing this message, Ravage, a former Decepticon, now wants to work with Megatron as it is a message from his old leader. So Black Arachne and Silverbolt are trying to get into a cave. We get some more heroic shit from Silverbolt.
See that big boulder right there? Think you can take it out?
Stand back, citizen.
And then done, yep, Ravage switched sides.
Well, the bad news is he switched sides.
And so we get this scene, and I always questioned when I was younger, I just thought, that's so stupid. But also we get the classic Transformers noise with him being a Decepticon and all in the end.
Decepticons forever!
Yeah, he suddenly changes into a cassette tape. Because that's what he did in the original series. I didn't know this until recently, like, researching it. It was always so weird that he just changed it to a cassette tape. Like, why, huh? It's so weird. Like, it was such, like, a badass kind of moment, and then he just turns into that, and it's like, why? But here's the thing. Ravage was one of Soundwave's spies. Soundwave is this guy whose chest opens up so you can put a cassette tape. Or Ravage. Ravage would normally be in there, I believe. And then he would go off and spy for him and all that kind of stuff. And yeah, change it to a panther, while then also then being a cassette tape. So it's a bit weird to choose him of all of them to like bring back. But I think the main thing there that I did research is that he's extremely loyal to the original Megatron. And so hearing that message from the original Megatron would make him switch sides. And like then, yeah, go back to being a Decepticon, basically. He's also this guy in the second Transformers movie. It's kind of cool. Like, yeah, so that all makes sense now. And it's therefore for fans who watch the original series and such. Which again, I never did watch the original. So I can't catch these little references and such. Episode 13, the final episode of this season. Finally, I am so tired. I'm sweating a lot in here. Maximal's base gets attacked by Ravage's ship and other Preds. Rat Trap managed to, as he calls it, Knievel himself onto Ravage's ship.
Knievel mode. Maximum score.
He managed to go in and blow up Ravage's ship along with Translus and Ravage, which Ravage, even though wasn't near the explosion compared to Translus, freaking dies. So that's Ravage gone.
Decepticons forever!
That was kind of sort of pointless for the most part. Him and just like he's dead. Yep. But we do get some funny scenes with Rat Trap here as well.
Hero.
Oh, get down.
Megatron heads off, but not back to base, and Maximal's following, which suddenly Optimus seems to know what he has found. It's like, yeah, that all just kind of happens. It's not very well written. It really does feel like they're just writing the episodes as they came. But yeah, cut back to Silverbolt and Black Arachne are still at the walks, having stupid romantic moments. So the two make their way inside, and what's inside? The Ark. The ship that brought the original Transformers to Earth, along with the Decepticons, I believe in the original series boarded the ship, but it came crashing down to Earth in millions of years where they laid in stasis lock until they woke up in modern times. So yeah, getting more into the original series kind of stuff, which yeah, this is the canon continuation of that series, so it is kind of cool that they do connect it. Though Black Arachne seems way too into this, knowing everything about it and wanting to use that power in the ship for herself, for some weird reason that's not really explained. But Megatron shows up first, blasting the cave entrance so the Maximals can't get in. Black Arachne has the codes for a ship downloaded, which she did earlier in the season before the disk was destroyed, and Megatron threatens to kill Silverbolt to make her use the codes. And she gives in, of course, before the Maximals manage to get in time. So now Megatron is now inside the Ark and goes on a bit of a little Shakespearean rant as he flies over the Decepticons and Autobots before reaching Optimus Prime.
It has all come down to this. The ultimate risk. For the ultimate prize. A day of reckoning. With foes who made us slaves.
Which, big realization here. The Beastwars Transformers are so tiny compared to the original Transformers. It's so weird because it's not something you think about. But yeah, of course, they are smaller, so when they change the Beast forms, they would, at least be accurate for the most part, size-wise, and not just giant kaijus walking about. But at the same time, it's still just so, weird that they're smaller, and, well, it's something I did look up, and basically, they made themselves smaller because it was more energy efficient. Yep, they are more energy efficient, and don't use up anywhere near as much Energon or whatever power source they use to keep themselves going. Be nice if they explained that in the show, though, as, yeah, it's just weird otherwise. You gotta, remember, though, that they are pretty much just spark. They are just a heart and nothing more. Their bodies are just shells, in a way, so it does work. It does work. It's just, yeah, a little bit weird that we don't really explain it. I also have to wonder, as the next Transformers movie will be about the Beastwars, which is really cool. I'm really excited for that, even though I don't give a shit about the Transformers movies anymore after the third one. But I'm still, excited to see what they do. But I am very curious how big that will be and how that will work. Will they do a story based on this TV show with them in the past, so there won't be, any humans? Or will it be modern times, with tiny robots running around mimicking animals, while then you got, the giant robots running around? Yeah, it doesn't really work, does it? As well, they will be just squished. But yeah, though, I thought I would just clarify that at least. At least we get really our first look at the older models in CGI, they kept hiding them in the dark, which was kind of cool, stylized, but now, nope, there's Optimus Prime. And yeah, I see why they hid them, just because they look so blocky, it doesn't quite work well with the CGI, so, which is fine, they're not the main focus. So Megatron does something to destroy the original Optimus to change the fate of the Great War that goes full Dragon Ball Z with whatever the hell he is doing. That's basically destroying time in itself. And that's basically it for the season. Great way to end this season for sure. But yeah, season 2, I have mixed feelings about it overall. The writing just isn't as good. It just doesn't feel like they had any of this really planned. The whole alien storyline thing in the first season was interesting, but that feels like it's just been thrown out the window, as the two-parter episode that does it was not only crap, but was pointless besides taking away Tigertron Air Racer, which yes, plays a role in the first season, but it doesn't play any other role in the second season, which is what I'm reviewing. But it just still felt overly pointless. Again, was just a way to get rid of those characters they didn't know how to write for anymore. I don't mind the new designs. I feel like the CGI did get a bit better, as I have a lot better backgrounds and such. I do miss some of the more sillier episodes though. There's a couple, Rhinox did barely anything in the show, in the season, besides bringing back Optimus at the start. I feel like those 3 episodes at the very start were great. They felt, really, really good. And then after that, it all kind of just went downhill after that. I think I will give Season 2 a 6 out of 10 Foxes. It's alright. There are things I like and things I don't like, so I'll get around to doing Season 3 eventually. These kind of do take a lot out of me, I'm not going to lie. Especially this has been, just talking a lot on camera. It does take a lot of work. There's so much. It's exhausting. It's extremely exhausting. So, I'll get around to Season 3 eventually. I do apologise for that. I absolutely apologise for how long it's taken me just to get to Season 2. Especially when it's it's only 13 episodes, but it takes so long to do the script and it takes a long time just to get me into the right mood to watch it, to then review it, in the sense of I have to write down, I have to watch the episode but pay attention to everything and write down everything, and it just gets a little exhausting. But hope you enjoyed the video either way. Please give this video a like and subscribe to our channel, because I love you if you do. Hit that bell icon, and VitoFox says, be who you want to be. Alright guys, Bye for now.